Good afternoon and welcome back to Prime of Midlife. This is another of my podcasts. You would not believe the problems I have had trying to get this to get done. I am presuming what has happened is my darling beloved pussycat has stomped on one of my keypads on the keyboard and it stopped the microphone recording. And I have gone back and forward so many times, trying so many different things. And eventually I went to the audio setup and it's like, what recording device do you want to use? And my microphone was not the one that had been chosen. So it has been chosen now. This is probably half an hour after I first tried to start this. But there you go. So we shall see how we get on. But the pooper is not my favourite person at the moment because you know how they follow you into the bathroom. So Raven came into the bathroom with me yesterday and obviously I'm doing this £20 a week budget challenge and I bought toilet roll last week. She took the toilet roll, held it in her belly and did that kicky thing with her back feet. I have shredded toilet roll now. So it's as much use as a chocolate fireguard. So we were less than impressed at the cat. And then, as we were leaving said bathroom, did she not decide to attack my feet because I was in my pussycat socks? Just rude. So she is. So anyway, yes, that is my cat and how she's behaving at the moment. This is obviously the week where we have had Storm Babette. Which was quite interesting, apart from being very, very scary. Thankfully, it did not affect us as bad as it could have. I mean, my heart bleeds for these people. And the thing is, it was, advertised or it was said Scotland's going to get hit really badly, but no one seemed to warn the south of England. I didn't know it was supposed to hit the south of England, which it did. So, yeah, that wasn't so good. But if you've seen on the channel, I've done a couple of videos where I've been like, are you ready for a power cut? Do you know where your torches are, know where everything is? And I was quite confident because I know where everything is. And I've made a basket and everything's fine. And I came in on Thursday and that was just the first of the red warnings, which had been moved down closer to us. So it's a bit wary, but I was like, right, it's fine, I can deal with this. That is until I came in and the lights flickered. I sat down with a cup of tea, as you do, and the lights started flickering. Well, I was up like a bullet. I was up the stairs, putting the coffee pot on, because the coffee pot is up the stairs for me to have my coffee in the morning. And I was like, I need to get coffee in the flask, and I need to get that in the overnight flask, because if the power goes off, and it's off all night, I am going to have to come down and light the wood burner to get a cup of tea in the morning because I don't have coffee every morning. And I was like, no, we'll put the coffee on just now. So I put the coffee on, came downstairs, filled the kettle, boiled it, started the pasta for the mac and cheese, filled the kettle with boiled water, back up, filled the other flask, the 8-hour flask with boiled water, upstairs filled the coffee flask, the 24-hour flask with the coffee, so that if nothing else, first thing in the morning, that coffee would still be hot. Then I came back down and made the mac and cheese so that I knew that I had dinner and that would feed me, throughout the next day if I had to. I was running around like a headless chicken. But it all got done and I was sorted and everything was fine because as it was, I didn't have a power cut. I didn't have to worry about anything like that. Getting to work, because I'm only 3 miles away from work, it was relatively easy. So we were all good. But it's amazing just how quickly things can go from I'm alright, Jack, to oh goodness, I'm not. And I mean, those poor people in Brecon, I've seen the overhead pictures. There's so many houses. So many houses underwater. They're going to have lost so much stuff. And the thing is, it's not a quick fix. Because even once the water goes away, it's got to get cleaned out. And then it's got to get dried out, because you've got to dry out the stonework as well. And a lot of the time that means taking off the plasterboard, etc. So the properties have got to be dried, and then they've got to be fixed. Now, there's also the thing of, if you've got that much water in, I don't know about anywhere else, I just know in the UK, a lot of our kitchen units are not solid wood. They are veneers, and they've got chipboard in the middle. And once the chipboard gets proper soaking, it goes poof. And it expands and it starts crumbling. So people's kitchen units and stuff are not going to be any good anymore. So there's all these things that are going to need to happen. We are going to be so busy at work next week. It's just going to be non-stop. And it's going to take time for everyone to get all this sorted. So yeah, I was very thankful that we were lucky enough to avoid it. But oh my goodness, there's so many people have lost so much. And I didn't realise that it was going down to the south of England as well. Do you know, I think it's just probably because of the way the news was focused. I'm in Scotland, so the news was focused on Scotland, obviously. But I mean, even Europe got hit, etc., etc. So, yeah, that was a bit of a thing. But hopefully that's us. We're now just under an ice warning, and that's normal because we have frosty mornings. So, yeah, we'll keep an eye on that, and hopefully that'll be fine. The other thing I was doing today, obviously, was my shopping. Now, I had a look. I didn't actually go to Asda's today, but I had a look on the Asda Rewards app. So if you've got the Asda Rewards or the Lidl card or whatever, Tesco Club card, have a look at what's on offer just now. Because the Asda app, the Rewards app, has a whole lot of stuff on offer. Things like Lynx and Dove. Do you know the stuff that Christmas gift boxes are made from? And I had a wee thought to myself of, if that's the kind of thing that you would normally buy someone, wouldn't it be better to get it now while it's got this rewards app thing on it where you get money back, or where Tesco Club Card is where you get it cheaper, and make up your own gift bag? Now, the reason I'm saying that is years and years ago when I was like a student, obviously there's so many different people that we would give gifts to, and they all had to be like dirt cheap. We were students. And what we did is we had what I called the survival bags. I started making survival bags. And if you imagine, for the guy who lived close by but I drove up and down with to college, or you know, the guy who lived next door, or the girl that I shared a flat with, she actually got a better present, but she also got a survival bag. And what I would do is I'd buy the cheapest glass that I could find in Asda's or Tesco's or the equivalent, with a miniature of like vodka, whiskey, or a can of lager, can of juice, some crisps, a tin of curry, because at that time the big thing was lager drinkers eat curry. So I'd get a tin of curry, I'd get paracetamol, and a cheap pair of socks. And it's like, there you go, that's you. There's your start for your going out. You're coming home and having the munchies, and the next morning when you're feeling rough, you've got your cosy socks and your paracetamol. And that wouldn't cost a lot of money. And you could just put it in a whatever sort of container that you wanted. But that was my wee thing, was survival bags. And I just was thinking there, with all these things being on offer and as the rewards app, I'm like, right, is there stuff that I could go back to that for the seasonal thing? Now, obviously, again, I'm not saying the word, because you're not allowed to do the seasonal thing till after Halloween. That's just the law. I'm fed up with people having seasonal stuff out at, in August and September. It just shouldn't be allowed. But for Halloween, we're seemingly getting dressed up in the office. We're dressing up for Halloween. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I have not dressed up for Halloween for years and years and years. So I was searching my brain for what I could do for Halloween. And I have 3 options that I remember from my days as a child. Because there used to be a gala day in the town. And everyone joined in, and there was, decorated lorries and stuff like that. And the kids got dressed up in fancy dress, and there was prizes. And the 3 main costumes that I remember, because obviously with my age, people actually made their own costumes. So the 3 main costumes I remember are the carrots round your waist for 24 karat gold. The white sheet and a belt round your waist with an empty half bottle tied to your waist. That's the departed spirit. An empty half bottle of vodka or whiskey or brandy or whatever. That was the departed spirit. And the other one was the toast of the town. And that was someone had stitched a whole lot of slices of toast onto a dress. And I remember the girl going as the toast of the town. I also remember, oh my goodness, I've literally just remembered this as I've been talking. My dad was almost 6'2", so he was very tall for his age group. And him and Mum were going to a fancy dress party, so Mum was making them a costume. And I remember she sat and she cut strips off a sheet which she had dyed green. She made them jaggy strips and put them onto a shirt. And he went as the Jolly Green Giant. And everyone thought it was fabulous. I mean, it was just brilliant. But I remember Mum sitting stitching the things on. But we kept that shirt forever. I mean, any fancy dress, that was what Dad wore. I wore it when I was young. I think one of the guys I knew borrowed it off of Dad and wore it. So yeah, that was a really good costume as well. So any suggestions for what I can wear to work? Because Mandy absolutely rocks Halloween. She really does. She goes all out for Halloween. I have seen the pictures on Facebook. So I need to make an effort. So if you have any ideas of an easy and cheap costume to make for Halloween, then yes, please. That would be awfully good. And then after Halloween, then we shall be starting to look at what we're doing for Christmas. As I say, I'm probably looking at survival bags, because for me to make something is going to take time. I mean, obviously I can't make a shawl. I've been doing this one for months and I'm getting nowhere. I could make some crocheted dishcloths, but that's not exactly a Christmas present, really, is it? The other thing I did years ago was I bought a little Christmas tin from the Poundland shop, and I filled it with flapjacks, macaroons, and I think peppermint creams or millionaire shortbread or coconut ice or something, 3 different sweeties in it. Oh, tablet it was. I made tablet. I haven't made that for years. So that was my Christmas presents, was I made everyone a box of sweeties. So, yeah, after Halloween we can be looking at that. Until then, we need to find a costume for Karen to wear to work on Halloween, because I have no clue what I'm doing. But we shall see. So there you go. That's been my excitement this week. The big panic when I thought there might actually be a power cut or I might actually get flooded. Although how that was going to happen, considering I am up quite a hefty hill from any waterway, I don't know. But, you worry about these things. So once that was done, we were back to normal. Managed to get the shopping today. And yeah, that's about it. So I will love you and leave you. I will see you on the live tonight if you're going to be there. Catch you later.